Hello students. In this lecture we are going to discuss about the gram staining. In previous lecture we have seen what are the stains, different types of stains, then why there is a necessity to stain the microorganisms as we are going to observe them under the microscope. Then what are the different staining procedures, simple staining procedure, differential staining procedure, special staining procedure. Out of that, today we are going to study about this gram staining, which is a differential staining procedure. It separates most of the bacteria into two groups on the basis of the cell wall composition. That is gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. Now, this gram staining, it was first described by Danish scientist Hans Christian Gram in 1884, as they were working with uh, when they were examining the lung tissues from the patient who had died of pneumonia. So the Gram had discovered that the certain stains were preferentially taken up and retained by the bacterial cells. Okay, and so they could observe these bacterial cells, colored bacterial cells under the microscope. But the counter stain, okay, so counter staining. See, in a procedure where we will see okay, the last step to add the saffron in as a counter step. Okay, so that was described by Carl Weigert. Okay, he added a final step of staining with the saffron in. Now, as I told you, most of the bacteria are differentiated, not all. Okay, so there are the exceptions. For example, intracellular bacteria, that is Chlamydia. Then those lack the cell wall. As I told you, gram staining is on the basis of the cell wall. Okay, so cell wall composition. So mycoplasma lack the cell wall, so we cannot stain them. Then spirochetes. Okay, their dimensions we cannot like clearly observe under the light microscopy by gram staining procedure. Okay, so these are the exceptions, but yet most of the bacteria we can observe them, and it makes very easy procedure to identify the microorganisms. Okay, so means when you are going to identify the unknown bacteria, so the first step it is the gram staining. Now, gram staining it differentiates bacteria by chemical and physical properties of their cell wall. Okay. Now, we will see the difference between the cell wall of gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Okay. This is the difference. Okay, you can observe the structure of this two bacterial cell wall. Okay. The gram positive bacterial cell wall it is single layered, and the gram negative bacterial cell wall it is double layered. Okay. In a gram positive bacterial cell wall, you can observe a thick peptidoglycan layer. See, this is the peptidoglycan. Okay. It consists of two monosaccharides, means it consists of a heteropolysaccharide, two different sugars. One it is the N-acetyl glucosamine and the another one is N-acetyluramic acid. And there is a chain of 5 different amino acids. Okay, peptide chain consists of 5 different amino acids. Okay, and these three components are cross-linked with each other to form a intact structure of the peptidoglycan in a gram positive bacterial cell wall. But see, it is a thin layer in a gram negative cell wall. Okay, now in a gram negative cell wall you can observe the out, it is a bilayer. So this outer one it is called as the outer membrane, and its structure resembles the cytoplasmic membrane. Okay, see, it is like a cell membrane consists of the lipid bilayer, and it is also having the lipopolysaccharide. It is one of the component present in a gram negative bacterial cell wall, and it acts as the endotoxin and all. Okay, see, there are the porins which are present in outer membrane of the gram negative bacterial cell wall, but they are absent in a gram positive. Okay, so this is the cytoplasmic membrane and this is the periplasmic space. Okay, so this is the gram negative bacterial cell wall double layered, and this is the gram positive bacterial cell wall consists of a thick peptidoglycan layer. Okay, so this composition is mainly responsible, okay, for the differentiation. And another one important, it is the outer membrane. Okay, see, it is a lipid bilayer, so the lipid content in a gram negative bacteria is more as compared to gram positive. This is the difference. Cell wall Gram positive bacteria cell wall is smooth single layered. Okay. In case of gram negative, it is wavy and double layered. Cell wall thickness. The thickness of the cell wall in gram positive, it is 20 to 80 nanometer compared to 8 to 10 nanometer in gram negative. Peptidoglycan layer thick in gram positive, thin in case of gram negative. Teichoic acids, these are present in gram positive but absent in gram negative. Outer membrane, again it is absent in gram positive, present in gram negative. Purines, as I told you. Lipid content, gram positive, I told you it is very low, but in gram negative it is high. Lipopolysaccharides absent in gram positive, present in gram negative. Then this gram positive bacteria are more susceptible to antibiotic as compared to gram negative bacteria. Okay. Next, we are going to study about the procedure. Okay, so this is in brief a procedure of the gram staining. First of all, there are mainly the 4 steps. Application of the crystal violet, it is the primary stain. Then you will add the mordant, okay, that is the grams iodine. Then you will wash the slide with the alcohol, and then at the last step, application of the safranin counter stain. Okay, and so you differentiate the bacteria, gram positive, which are purple in color, okay, and gram negative, pink in color. See, now the detailed procedure of the gram staining. First of all, fixation of the clinical material to the surface of the microscope. Okay, so what we do, first of all, we prepare the smear. Under the aseptic condition, means you take a sample or you take a bacterial suspension. Then with the help of the sterile nichrome wire loop, okay, you prepare a smear on a clean and grease-free glass slide. And then the fixation, okay, after preparing the smear, you will air dry it and you will heat fix it, means just pass the slide through the flame 2 to 3 times. Okay, it fixes the cells on a glass surface because there are the washing procedures, and so the cells, they should not get washed out. Okay, so that's why we carry out the fixation by heating, or even we can use the methanol. Okay, it is the chemical agent which we can use as a fixative. After the heat fixation process, then you apply, then the staining procedure actually it starts. Okay, so first of all, the application of the primary stain, that is the crystal violet. Now this crystal violet is applied for 1 minute and it stains all the cells purple. Okay, means as first stain we apply, so all the cells will get stained by this stain and all the cells will appear purple in color. Then the next step, that is the application of the mordant. Okay, mordant, it enhances the color effect. Okay, so there are the different types of the mordant used in different types of staining. In a gram staining, we use the grams iodine. Okay, it is added to a, means when we add the grams iodine, it forms a crystal violet iodine complex, that is a CVI complex in a cell wall. Okay, and so the cells appear blue or purple. Okay. So this CVI complex, it is formed in a cell wall of both gram positive as well as gram negative. Then the next step, it is a decolorization step. Okay, decolorization, where we add the organic solvents such as the acetone or the alcohol, that is ethanol, the mixture. Okay, acetone alcohol mixture, and it is simply applied for 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, not more than that. Now what happens when we apply the stain, the decolorizer, the gram negative bacteria from which the lipid gets dissolved, and gram negative bacteria, they get decolorized, and gram positive, they remain purple in color. Okay, so that we will see later on. Okay, and after the application of the decolorizer, the last step, it is the application of the counter stain, that is the safranin. So again, safranin is applied for 1 minute, then the glass slide is washed, air dried and observed under the microscope. Okay, so these are the steps of gram staining. First of all, you will take a clean and grease-free glass slide, take a sample or a bacterial suspension, prepare a smear on a glass surface under the aseptic condition, air dry, heat fix, apply primary stain, that is the crystal violet, for 1 minute, then drain the stain, apply mordant, that is the grams iodine, again for 1 minute, drain that mordant, then apply the decolorizer, that is the acetone alcohol mixture, ethanol mixture, for 15 to 20 seconds. Again, wash the slide and apply the counter stain, that is the safranin. So now what happens when we apply the stains? Okay, see, that is the principle of the gram staining. The differences in a cell wall composition of gram positive and gram negative bacteria it account for the gram staining difference. Okay. As we know, gram positive cell wall is thick, having thick peptidoglycan layer, okay, and it is highly cross-linked, so it raises the decolorization. Okay, see, now when in aqueous solution the crystal violet dissociates into crystal violet and the chloride ions, and they penetrate through the cell wall and cell membrane of the gram positive and gram negative cells. Okay, now this crystal violet ions they get interact with the negatively charged component of the bacterial cell and staining the cells purple. Okay. So all the cells they appear purple in color, and when we add the iodine, so it interacts with the crystal violet ion to form crystal violet iodine complex within the cytoplasm and outer layer of the cell. Then when we apply the decolorizing agent, so it interacts with the lipids of the membrane. See, alcohol it is the fat solvent. So what happens? The lipids they get dissolved in alcohol. Okay, but as we have seen in a gram negative bacteria, more lipid is there. So what happens? Lipid gets dissolved from the gram negative cell wall, and so large size pores are formed in gram negative bacteria. Okay, see, outer membrane it is lost from the cell, leaving the peptidoglycan layer exposed, and so gram negative cells as they are having the thin layer of the peptidoglycan, so what happens, the stain gets removed from the gram negative cell, okay, as compared to the gram positive. Gram positive it is having a highly cross-linked thick peptidoglycan layer, so it retains that CBI complex. Okay, so that's why the gram negative cell wall become leaky and the large CBI complex get washed from the cell. And the highly cross-linked multi-layered peptidoglycan gram positive cell it is dehydrated by the addition of the ethanol. Okay. Ethanol is dehydrating agent also. Okay. So it retains the CBI complex, means it traps the CBI complex. Okay. Dehydrating agent means what? In gram positive cell wall lipid is there but very less lipid, so it gets dissolved to form the pores, but the pores they get shrink because of the dehydration, and so it gets the CBI complex get retained by the gram positive bacteria. So after the decolorization, gram positive cells remain purple in color and gram negative cell loses the purple color. And but to observe the gram negative cells, we are supposed to apply the another stain, so that is the counter stain of contrast color. Okay, so that safranin is added. Okay, so crystal violet where we observe the cells purple in color, so the counter stain contrast color, so safranin it is red in color. Okay, so that is added, so all the cells they get stained. Gram negative cells they get stained by the safranin, so you can observe, see, the gram positive bacteria purple in color and gram negative bacteria red, or we can say the dark pink in color. Okay, and these are the examples of gram positive staphylococcus aureus, then clostridium, streptococcus, bacillus, micrococcus, corynebacterium, then streptococcus pyogenes. Then these are the gram negative, vibrio, okay, Escherichia coli, Helicobacter, Neisseria. These are the examples of the gram negative bacteria. Okay, so this completes the gram staining procedure. Thank you.